Let's talk about world news real fast. I could talk about, let's say, Chapel Rowan and the fact that she said, how can girls do all these things but still be politically educated? I could bring that up right now and talk about how Chapel Rowan doesn't understand people can be politically educated and do all the things she does, talking about her own personal stress and how she can't be politically educated because she has a lot of stressful things going on because none of these people in the comments know what it's like to be famous. They're just talking mess about her. I could talk about that, or I could talk about this deep issue with the honeybee population, in which the honeybee population is declining so rapidly that we may be facing 70% of agricultural losses that we've never seen in eons, in years. Or the thing I really want to talk about, if you're here from my bookmarks, by the way, this is my girls only fans. Go ahead and subscribe over there. Anyways, let's go ahead and just see this real fast right here. This is very important. I don't do React content. I don't. But I was minding my black business, and my friend sent me this and said, "Hey man, I think this is important." Now, my friend has not messaged me in 4 months. He enjoys watching my content, though. You're probably gonna watch this as well, Stanley. I'm proud of you. Thank you for messaging me about this because this shook me to my core. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and watch an hour-long video. I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. That's ridiculous. There's no universe in which I will watch an hour-long video. That's not happening. But what I am going to do, and I'm going to play the first 2 seconds of this video to give you the understanding of what this video is. Please observe, if you will.
He's not necessarily anti-vaccine, but he wants safe vaccines.
Yeah, so I'm pointing out that I think RFK Jr. is a threat to public health. You're saying he's being hypocritical.
Yeah, he's being hypocritical.
Absolutely.
And
do you know who the number one hypocrites are? Healthcare providers.
The reality is, if we don't get vaccinated with Jesus, we will face God on Judgment Day.
Okay, so I want you to understand the vibe of what this entire thing is. So for the first part of this, as a matter of fact, I think we'll listen to one of these people's testimonies. This Hotep right here. Let's just listen to this Hotep. This Hotep right here. This is a Hotep. You don't know what a Hotep is? It's a Hebrew Israelite. It's a black man that thinks the earth is flat and thinks that white people are going to be enslaved by black people. Let's just listen to his testimony for 1 second. This is very important to me.
On all of the other things that are causing disease, the chronic conditions that are in this country, all of the metabolic issues, and this is stemming from colonization. Putting smallpox blankets on indigenous cultures, sterilizing people in Puerto Rico, Honduras, all of these different things that have happened. And if you look at Africa, oh, by the way, Bill Gates did say something interesting. The next war will be fought with biological warfare. And I think that was raising eyebrows, especially when you look at the Kissinger report, right? For those of you who don't know about the Kissinger report, it's all about pretty much reducing the population of...
Okay, enough of his nonsense. I like how she just agrees, like, yeah, I know about this. I know what's going on. She talks too later. She talks really soon. She talks after this guy. I'm pretty sure she comes up. Yeah, she comes up after that guy. And she just goes sicko mode. She interrupts Mike. It's pretty nuts. This entire episode is actually full of very interesting characters that are, and I kid you not, basically trauma dumping on this poor man. And I, for the life of me, cannot grasp why this is happening. He explains vaccines. He explains science. Ignore vaccines for a moment. He explains science in a very practical and understanding way that people just don't grasp or understand, and it was really messing me up the entire episode. I didn't read I didn't read what it was. It was 20 anti-vaxxers versus Dr. Mike. This was such a baffling, such a horrifying, agitating realization to me that there are people that exist in this world like this. There are people that actively exist ignoring science and living like this. And it leads me to believe that not everybody should be given the ability to voice their opinion. Maybe democracy was a mistake. I don't know. I'm really beginning to understand that with every interaction. You're probably wondering why I brought up the two earlier things earlier when I was talking about the bee thing. So I figured out this bee thing earlier. How did I figure out the bee thing? Because somebody said, yeah, I think the bee thing isn't really that bad. Bees don't really do that much. I want you to really grasp the statement I heard today. He said bees don't really do that much. I had to explain to him everything bees did. He said, really? They're responsible for almonds? I said, they're responsible for 10 billion in agriculture each year. Bees are responsible for the world population in totality. They are the most important thing to the ecosystem besides trees. It's bees and trees. Those are like two top. Maybe water, bees, and trees, top three. Maybe if I had to make a list, the three goats of ecosystem, bees, water, trees. He said, oh, I didn't know that was a real thing. I said, what? What? And I was talking to him. A girl came in, and this is how I forgot about the Chapel Row and stuff. I forgot about this today. It was a few days ago, so it's basically 67 years ago in internet culture. I forgot about the Chapel Row and stuff today. And this is going to sound crazy. I completely understand where she's coming from. She said, how can a girl do all these things with the touring and stuff like that and be politically educated? Bro, she is locked in on trying to be famous. She is locked in on making music and not caring about the world. A lot of my friends are locked in on making YouTube content, are locked in on work. Well, I have a friend at Amazon. He didn't even know Donald Trump was president. They said, what? Donald Trump president? I guess. Brother is so stressed out with life, he just doesn't care anymore. He just doesn't care. He said, hey, it's no difference I'm going to make. Because people were just fed up. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, she's rich. She's rich. She can't be possibly fed up. 100%. I agree. She can't possibly be fed up. But I don't know what it's like to be famous. I don't know the stress of being famous. I have no idea. And right now, I'm medium famous. I'm small famous. I get 200 messages a day, and it stresses me out. I haven't opened a message from my mom in 2 months, man. I haven't talked to my dad in a minute because I'm scared to go through my text messages. I'm scared to go through my notification. My phone has been on silent. My phone has been on silent for so long. You catch me sparingly in my Discord sometimes. I'm terrified of that. I get so many notifications, so many people. And people were saying, there's always a reason to hate Chapel Roan. I don't know why that is. I don't listen to any of her music. I don't know if it's bad or good. I have no clue. I don't care to listen to it. I refuse. But I don't understand why every other week they hate this woman. She seems to be saying just very lukewarm things. So upon the three things that came to my head from the honeybee population of Chapel Roan and Dr. Mike listening to these people, and by the way, let's just lock in and listen to this woman real fast. This is important to me. Let's just lock in and listen to her.
Dr. Mike.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. I want to say first that I'm a mother of 6 children. My oldest 2 children do have vaccines. My third child, he got a vaccine that the doctor said were safe that caused him brain issues for the rest of his life, and he has arrested hydrocephalus. I want to continue to say my youngest 3 children have no vaccines at all. They're perfectly fine. They're advanced. My son has permanent brain injury. So they say vaccine immunity is better, but as a child, when I got vaccines, I ended up with spinal meningitis. I had chicken pox twice. I almost died. But my 3 children that don't have any vaccines are perfectly fine. They've been traveled over 20 states during COVID. They've never got COVID. They've never got sick. Just a healthy diet, keeping them away from toxic foods, making sure their hygiene is good. Did you know that COVID has a patent and natural illnesses can't have patents? Did you know that every illness...
All right. This is important. Just right here, this part. I know her rant is about her trauma, and she's basically giving us a therapy episode, but this rant right here is very important.
Dated back to polio has a patent. The only thing that doesn't have a patent is the common cold. Did you know that Fauci...
That's important. Now, she's almost making sense here. She's almost making sense.
...funded medical schools to try to make the vaccine make COVID more deadly. Vaccine immunity is not really a thing because they cannot guarantee it makes anybody immune. There's more side effects from getting a vaccine than to not get a vaccine.
So this whole Jubilee episode is basically people from Facebook talking to a real person, is what I discovered through this. She's saying there's more side effects from vaccines than it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
The chances of getting illness not vaccinated versus to getting vaccines is a lot higher than somebody that doesn't eat toxic crap, practices good hygiene.
Now, this is also important, too. This is also important. Look at the faces of everybody around her. Just look at all the faces.
They're more likely to get illness vaccinated versus not vaccinated. There's studies that show unvaccinated children are more healthier. In Japan, they don't start their vaccine schedule, I believe, until 2 years old. Autism is almost non-existent. And this is something that needs to be documented. Dated back to polio, everything has a patent except for the common.
So she's saying that vaccines cause autism, all this stuff right here. And this has just been such a baffling thing. Because I'm beginning to understand that when you get a bunch of idiots together, 20 of them apparently up here, they all agree with each other. And there's one reasonable person in a room. He looks really unreasonable because he's getting disagreed with by 20 separate people. So witnessing this in bulk and seeing that so many people are vapidly wrong, it's insane. Same way if you go to the honeybee Reddit, people are going crazy about the honeybee thing. There's also people on Twitter saying the honeybee thing isn't that big of a deal, saying that nature's gonna nature, it doesn't matter when we are causing irreparable damage to the world. Same way that people are destroying Chapel Rowan and people are defending her and stuff like that. This got limited deeply. This whole thing has been a mess, and this is what happens when I learn shit. This is what happens when I learn shit. I don't know what to talk about because it all pisses me off. This all just agitates the shit out of me. Firstly, I'm going to just go through and talk about all three things really fast in a more cohesive and concise way because it's a very scattered video, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm very stressed. Chapel Rowan, no idea about how she feels in life, no idea what it's like to be famous. She's probably reasonably just stressed out because this is all new for her and she doesn't know how to do that. Yeah, it's been maybe 4 or 5 years, but still, that's not enough time to adjust to everything for some people who knows what's going on. For some reason, you got to be super left to be left. I don't know what's going on there. Same with the right wingers. They're all just psychopaths to me. Everybody's a psychopath nowadays. It's dumb. It's just echo chambers going on. And it's not even real people. It's not even real people. It's just people online. They're not real. They're not real people. I'm not going to lie to you. They're people in real life don't really do that. But then I thought that till I met the person who talked about honeybees today and said it's not even that important that we lose on the honeybees. I checked Twitter and people don't care about the honeybees being gone. So that leads me to believe that because there's a bunch of idiots saying the same opinion back to each other in this echo chamber, they agree with it because nobody's questioning the idiots. It's a bunch of nuts BS. Same way people a while back thought the earth was flat. We all just completely agreed the earth was flat. We're like, yeah, 100% earth's flat. And one guy said it was a globe and they killed him. They just slaughtered him. They say, who cares? You said it's a circle? You're stupid. You're dying. You're going to die for that. And then the Dr. Mike thing. That Jubilee episode pissed me off. I don't watch Jubilee that often. I really don't. I don't react to anything. I don't like reacting. I'm not a reactor. It's not how I operate as a human being. This has all been disgusting news today. I have hated every second of this. I have not enjoyed any minute of this. If you want to watch the Jubilee episode, just look. It's like the most recent one. I'm not gonna link it because I don't like Jubilee. I don't like what they do. I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy a lot of what they do. It agitates me sometimes. I don't know why. It's middle ground is what they do. They do a middle ground. This what they do. I don't know. I don't really enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy any of this garbage. It feels too orchestrated. It feels too fake. It feels unreal, but it's too real at the same exact time. It's a little agitating. I'm very conflicted about Jubilee. I don't know how to feel about it all the time because it reminds me deeply that most people are absolute fucking idiots. It's agitating to deal with that stressful thing. Anyways, why did I make this video? I needed to vent. I have no clue. I needed to vent. This has been pissing me off like all day. It's been in the back of my mind, dude. I don't know how to feel about it. I have no jokes, nothing of that variety. It just save the honeybees, man. I'm stressed. And also, side note at the end, something about Trump's tariffs or something like that. I don't know. It's all goofy. It's all goofy. Anyways, if you guys want to help me out here, my girl's doing this cover girl competition. We're trying to get her to first place. He's in second place right now. I'll put the link in the top comment if you guys want to help out with that. But outside of that, yeah, I'm just stressed out. I just voted again because you can vote again. It's a new day. But man, this is agitating.